Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reading The Flatpack Kid, a tale from Super Zeros by Jamie Ricks. Here we go. When Humpty Egg was born, when Humpty Egg was born, his parents doted on him. They marveled at his little hands and feet. They clapped when he blew spit bubbles out of his mouth, and they proudly took his nappy round to the neighbors to show what he made out of supper. There was nothing about their baby that they did not find fascinating. So when Humpty Egg started to show an unusual interest in how the world worked, they actively encouraged the inquiring mind. They laughed gaily when he tore apart his ruffle and threw it in the sink grinder. They cheered when he dismantled his cut and left it in bits on the floor. And they wept with joy when he unscrewed the back of an electric fire and dumped it in the bath. Far from telling him off for breaking things, they raved about his excellent mind in newspaper articles and food parties in his honor, in which they would boast of friends, family, and strangers about how clever Humpty was. He's only 6 months old, and already he can strip down a Royal Enfield rifle, they would say to a crowd room full of politely smiling people. He's probably the cleverest child of this generation. And guys would none others said really, or fancy that, or if they were particularly greedy, 3 cheers for the egghead! Eventually, however, the day dawned when Humpty's vandalism stopped being funny to Mr. Egg. That is, in the beginning, he didn't mind clearing up after his son, many bending furniture, plastering walls, and gluing his hands back onto ornaments. But as the months went on and the jokes got bigger and the splash of his precious blood increased, he did. For all his enthusiasm, Mr. Egg was not a good do-it-yourself. Chisel, saws, and hammers seemed to love the taste of his fingers. So, on this particular day, with blood gushing out of a hole in his thumb and the washing machine in bits on the floor, it was hardly surprising that Mr. Egg threw his screwdriver through a window and better, "Let somebody else tidy up after this horrible little boy!" Mrs. Egg, who had still to recognize the evil in her son, covered dear Humpty's ears and called her husband. "Cruel, that's what you are," she said. "You're a brute of a father, Alan. Our baby boy was only exercising his inquiring mind." While Humpty laughed at his mother's tears, Mr. Egg stomped into the hall to call a handyman. On the telephone table, there was a pile of unselected business cards. He picked up the one on top and dialed the number. "Can't do it yourself? Let Dave do it for you. If your kids are destroying your home, call the power tool expert. DIY Dave. No child too big or too small. We'll take on any age. Telephone Leonard Dave. 06060606060606060606. That's a lot of zeros and sixes in a phone number. Not long after that, there was a strange whirring sound outside the front door, followed by the heaving bellows of a sigh. Mr. Egg opened the door to see a strange bicycle. bicycle drop out of the sky in their front garden. Welded to the crossbar was a helicopter rotor blade on a mast, and behind the back wheel attached to the frame by an aluminum bar was a floating trailer held up by a tiny hot air balloon. Sitting on the bike was a small man with large yellowing moustache. He had comb-over hair and wore a pair of blue overalls which had the letters DIY Dave printed on the back. He jumped off his bike and clicked open the lid of his trailer, took out a metal box brimming with power tools, and walked towards the house, towards the front door. "Good morning," he said in a boring "Good morning," he said in a boring monotone. "DIY Dave at your service. Now I know what you're thinking. What exactly is Dave's mode of transport? Let me fill you in, Mr. Egg. This is my bicycle helicopter balloon transportational vehicle, which I have cleverly called my Baloo Cyclopter. You can probably see what I've done there. I put the three words together. Rather inspired. Took me about 3 years to build it. 3 weeks to build it. Now, where's the problem?" When DIY Dave saw the mess that Humpty had made of the washing machine, he shook his head, touched so loudly that Mrs. Egg leapt to her son's defense. "I think it's important to encourage a child's inquiring mind," he said. "I mean, I know Humpty's not clever enough to go to university yet, but I think he really is advanced for his age. In fact, I think he's probably one of the top 3 cleverest children in the world, if not the top 1. I mean, I don't want to go overboard about it, but he is super clever. No prize-winning material, if you ask me. In my opinion, to be able to dismantle a washing machine at 9 months old is quite something." But instead of smiling indulgently at Humpty, as everyone else did, Dave spoke his mind. "He can take stuff apart, but Mrs. Egg, that's all very well, but can he put it back together again? Now that would be clever." Humpty's mother squeaked with indignation. "What do you expect, you stupid man? He's only 9 years old! Months old!" "So you said DIY Dave. There we are, all done. He didn't want to be paid for the work. If I never had to clear up for Humpty again," he explained. "That'll be payment enough. Goodbye, Mrs. Egg." Then he turned to her husband and fixed him with a mean stare. "I do hope I won't be coming back," he said, "for Humpty's sake." And he picked up his tools and went outside, only to discover that somebody in nappies had taken the wheels off his balloon cyclopter. Unfortunately, Humpty did not heed do-it-yourself. Dave's warning. As he grew up, he worked his way through his parents' precious possessions. He destroyed record players, boilers, garage doors, cat flaps, shower pumps, burglar alarms, and at least 6 vacuum cleaners. Mindful that do-it-yourself Dave did not want to be called out again, Mr. Egg tried to repair the damage himself, but he couldn't. He didn't have do-it-yourself hands. He had a break-it-yourself hand on his right arm, and to pick up the phone and get someone else to do it for you hand on the end of his lip. So despite his warning, DIY Dave was called back time after time. On each occasion refused payment. Instead, he repeated his mantra, if I never have to clear up for Humpty again, that'll be payment enough. But Humpty never cleared up after himself. It was Humpty's 11th birthday. To celebrate, he rose early and dismantled the central heating system. Mr. and Mrs. Egg woke up to find icicles inside their bedroom window. And the bar so cold that the flies were doing backstroke in the water to keep warm. Jerry Dave got the car and Julie arrived with his box of power tools. Only on this occasion, he wasn't smiling. The handyman's new hammer action drill. His eyes flashed with anger. Never touch my tools, he growled. They are my children, Mustang. If it wasn't for my power tools, I wouldn't be so powerful. You're not powerful, sneered Humphrey. You're just a butcher on a bicycle. Giant Ray Dave leaned towards the boy and whispered in a sinister voice, you would do well to take me seriously. For I am more powerful than a mayfly. Humpty's mother couldn't help herself. Mayflies aren't powerful, she snorted. Mayflies only live for one day. With so little time to live, they have no time to regret, exclaimed the handyman. In the insect kingdom, this makes them uniquely clear-headed. Their solutions are brutally efficient, so conscious, Mrs. Egg, just like me. Dave had said his piece. He brushed down his overalls and picked up his box of tools. Many happy returns to the family, Master Humpty. Enjoy to the full, for maybe you're lost. Then he turned to Mr. and Mrs. Egg. Now that his son is 11, he is old enough to know better. Shall he be called out again? Called out again to clear up his mess. Because you can't do it yourself, I shall be forced to do him for you. Do him! Gasped Mrs. Egg. Do what to him? Oh, come now, DIY Dave smiled. What do you think the DIY in my name stands for? Do it yourself? Gasped Mr. Egg. Oh dear me, no, chuckled the handyman. Do it, Mr. Egg. Do in. He stopped in the doorway. Today, for the last time, there is no charge. Next time, if there is a next time, I shall extract from you and Humpty the full price. No discounts. Good day. The next minute passed in silence while Jerry Dave remounted his blue cyclopter and took to the skies. Finally, Miss voiced what the other two were thinking. He's gone all creepy. I don't think I want him back in this house. But 2 days later, DIY Dave was back! It was Sunday morning. Humpty's inquiring mind had been up since 4. Examining a loose flap on the wallpaper in his window, keen to find out what was underneath, he peeled it back to reveal a wall made entirely from grey plaster. But that was not enough for Humpty. He needed to know what was underneath that. Using a pen to dig a large hole over the plaster, he discovered one wooden struts. Now I needed to know what was behind those. So the destruction went on until having sawed through the struts and knocked out 93. I'll read the rest soon. Like, subscribe, click bell. Bye!